Oh yeah, Talking Point platform, TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Yes, family, and welcome back to yet another very important segment when they come through the Talking Points platform. My name is Mama Kagu, and today on the 18th of November 2021. We get three main items in at the show. First, the president don't set up a commission, a tribunal for investigate the suspended Auditor General winner Mrs. Lara Taylor. And again, we get some of the reasons then we make the president decide for suspend Lara Taylor, according to Africanist Press. When I will consider the main reason then where people have believe say this is not a bombshell. So in other words, for let the president president prevents a damning report, then decide at least for take them play this gamble. And why I say a gamble? Because alone people don't wake up. Now, you see the pressure, they mount up. And again, in the program, we also see some workers from Sierra Leone, they demonstrate against President Bio in brother. They say, in not pay them. When I not go no side, when I get more for know about them program here. And I also get the opportunity from Cow to text message them. When I just put them respectfully, we'll go with them.
Talking Point platform for news every day. Now we can't salute. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TTPTV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit, TTPTV.
Yes, welcome Yusuf, Fofana, and Lamzodio. Now, welcome to the show. Now, first and foremost, let me go first to the main important thing. As soon as I don't hear, or some of them don't see from the social media, President Julius Madabio don't appoint a tribunal for investigate the suspended Auditor General. Now, according to the press release we come up from the press secretary, they said the office of the president don't decide according to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. Then quote 137 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. And then one for inform the general public say the president will appoint 3 important people for investigate Mrs. Lara Taylor and in deputy. Now, the 3 people now Honorable Justice Nua Finda Maturi Jones, I'm the chairman for this commission, Mrs. Lahai M. Fama member, and Mrs. Abubakar King. These are the 3 people where President Bio don't decide for appoint for investigate or try for find out the misconduct, because the allegation was they say that professional misconduct and it's not just all any sense to any reasonable person, because this Mamia don't work for salon for 30 good years. You don't work for 30 good years as an auditor. So we don't know why last year or year before last, when Mrs. Lara Taylor pulled out the audit report, they don't say it creates or it engage in professional misconduct. But now the president don't touch her feet. But this comes with a lot of debates. A lot of people take and say the president don't act above in power, or in other words, he didn't misuse in power. And you also look at other very serious landed people like Charles Magai, we then self don't opine. We don't say the president in action is tantamount to sort of like completely illegal, because according to 1991 Constitution, Section 119, 9 of the Constitution, will say, according this I will read from the Constitution, say, the procedure for the removal of the Auditor General must be the same as required for removal of a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature other than the Chief Justice from the office. And other landed people, they say, even before the president, they even try to suspend the Auditor General. The first thing first, therefore set a tribunal, investigate the reasons why, if they found one thing, we know they say the lady they are above the law, but again, we look at the timing. Just few weeks towards releasing of this damning report, according to sources so we get, with the guy explaining, some of the reasons and we don't monitor, where people and say monitor the government, where the government president will decide in own power. At least these are like abuse of power. He happened back doing an escorma, where an escorma is abused in power by sacking the then vice president on Sam Sumana. He ended up going to ECOWAS court where go get justice. The same thing applies here. President Bio, this with all the landed people, then even Francis Gabidon, these are renowned lawyer, them, Charles Magai, and others, civil societies there. These are not, this is not ordinary person, no more maybe they're just like a no. Over the years, this now one credible institution wouldn't team up tall against the other one there. People and get faith in people. So a lot of people and believe the Auditor General self past the ACC self. And the work of the Auditor General, not to prosecute, not to witch hunt. This not just like financial discipline. Let's say they do a business. You want to know what you buy, what you sell, the profit and loss, the gross profit, the net profit. This now make for long we know how it happen. At the end of the day, if there is wastages, you go report and say, oh, this person will then be given them money that wastage take place, recommendation, so that at the end of the day, next year, if government they spend with sense because we not get money. Or in some cases where there is corruption, they recommend it left to Parliament because the Auditor General answerable to Parliament. And Parliament, after they don't debate or they don't watch the report, we get some about 2 reports, then they say, well, Parliament not touch it. If they found person wanting, the ACC day, and President Biobi don't call all Sierra Leoneans for joining the fight against corruption. And if we see over the years, this particular body, they do a very serious job in the fight against corruption. And, they go in line with the president, which means maybe sometimes a lip service sort of invitation the president be the give. But again, we all know what's in there happen within the dark side. The dark side, we don't know what happened with the dark side, but we know what happened at the front side and the open side. Now, African Express, where a lot of people also admire because of the reporting, then pull out a detailed plan, article for show the reason why make the president decide for suspend Lara Taylor. Now, and African Express continue for say, in fact, they even get bank statements then for support with dates. Now, here, Leah probably just share the screen with Nadonas FC, or some of now they follow that page there, una go to see some of the damning billions of loans where they are, let's say, the president and your wife take. So if this come out, it will be a very dangerous scenario for the president. So what did the president do? One, he tried to discredit the messenger. So if you don't discredit the messenger by saying the messenger is not professional, what you go expect from the message? You know, go and believe the message. Now, smart move, But if you like say the thing, they backfire because people, again, from all walks of life, when a meaningful, truthful Sierra Leoneans, we want to see institutions and work independently, they don't begin take stands. They don't begin take stand. Now, African Express, they are, let's say, the president and your wife, they spend over $3 million in 2020 alone, over $3 million. Over $3 million. Now, when they then continue, and they also understand, say, now, when the Auditor General discovers, say, the office of the president, they submit forged documents, including fake hotel receipts, invoices to the audit service as part of the president in travel expenditure in 2021, they refuse for acceptance. Take a look on this guy. This is the complete sort of like details. So the audit service refused for accept some of these receipts there were then forged according to information for say now this. In fact, to the point that the audit service tried for verify some of this hotel allegation for say the president lodged in an XY hotel is pencil so. Now, some of the money then are in there. We don't begin the last time, but they continue for long go down speedily. Now they submit, the office of the president submit receipt of $50,000, $175,000, $120,000 within Pina Hotel now, South Africa, Lebanon, Gabon, the United Kingdom, and Ethiopia. Now the audit and report said the invoices and the receipts where they submit, they don't exist. They don't exist now. Forged receipts there. So if you don't can become top. So apart from the that, they also found that most of the receipts themselves, they even inflates the price. Even though they're forged, they even inflate the price as against to the first documents where they submit say in their use. Now, the documents then, according to African Express and from waiting then gather, most of the hotel receipts they falsify. And then try for withdraw certain amount of money them where even self they not even pull the sort of like they not go through the procedure, the normal procedure for even withdraw money. So like just like this not like gangsterism. I mean, we feel say the president now a worker in the sense that if you don't work for people and transparency, accountability, and due process. Now we most of the time we leader and say hello, we lawless and this, that. But we want for them, we leaders also they follow and respect the due process. Allow the due process. Now, when these governments come, they announce it, they receive, they inherit the worst economy ever. Now, maybe we get some of this video and I make some of them video, no, they delete them. Okay, we still they keep them. Lord, we just remind people that when the president come, wait till and tell the world. And Lord, we see if the action match up to waiting and they do so right now. Lord, we find this video. Take a look on this.
Your Excellency, now let me turn to the findings of the report. We found that at the time of assuming office as president on the 4th of April 2018, Sierra Leone was in a state of near financial bankruptcy and facing the worst economic crisis since independence in 1961. We have produced the evidence in this report to support this claim. Your Excellency, we found that at the time you assumed office, the international reputation and credibility of Sierra Leone was battered and at its lowest ebb because of the rampant corruption, gross mismanagement, and leadership failure of the former APC government, making Sierra Leone the most corrupt country in the world and one of the poorest. Also, Your Excellency, we found a shocking level of complete disregard and disrespect by the former APC government for law and order, democratic accountability, and constitutional order. We found, Your Excellency, that the leadership of the former APC government behaved as if they were above the law and appropriated the state and its natural resources as their own private property. They signed contracts with mining companies and approved by the APC-dominated parliaments in which mining companies were permitted not to pay any taxes to the country in return for bribes. We have documented, page by page, the scale and level of the egregious infractions by the leadership of the former APC government. Based on these findings, the governance transition team has put forward 10 key recommendations for your consideration and action. The two imperative recommendations are, Your Excellency. Firstly, that you consider to immediately direct the Audit Service Sierra Leone to undertake a special audit of all ministries, departments, and agencies to establish how public assets and funds have been utilized by the former APC government. Secondly, and most importantly, that you consider to immediately institute a judge-led commission of inquiry with a limited time frame and mandate to look into all stolen or inappropriately converted state funds and other assets by former APC officials. The primary objective must be to investigate, prosecute, and if found guilty of corruption, must be made to pay back to the state all corrupt funds and to face long prison sentences. Your Excellency, the governance transition team further recommends that all those names.
Okay, Famule, that was the egregious mismanagement. Now, don't get this clip. Now, make the age of social media, anything what you say, it go out there, it don't go forever. These are the guys, when they came to power, now you know what they say, they inherit the worst economy since independence. Now, when they got kind of power, they also accuse the former APC government for being one of the worst corrupt governments on earth. Can you imagine? They also accuse the former APC government for being a government of law and order, lawlessness. They know they follow the due process of the law. And they also accuse the former APC of bribery and corruption. And again, they even use this time the audit service, for me to investigate and discover some of them. Now, these are the same people right now when it comes to their own tongue, when they're not power. They know how to investigate them. Is this not disregard for state institution? Now, massive corrupt allegation they from even this very person we talk to, the former chief minister, where they accuse say it take 1.5 million. Till today, we don't hear nothing. In fact, the ACC, they not go that level. They say, in fact, the journalists will be report that case, and then be arrested and locked. These are the very people there. When they kind of power, they say money no day. Okay, fine. We know the support. We know say some of us be happy for set the commission of inquiry because we want to let them set a precedent. May they want anybody with a kind to public service. You know they can't join politics for kind of enrich yourself. They can't join politics for service. If you know say you know able to control your hand, not join politics. Turn businessman. So if una say una get the worst, una inherit the worst economy since independence, what una for do as a serious government? Una for spend judiciously. But over the years, over 3 years, we see the president the president not ever take full amounts in the country. Just few weeks ago, the president traveled now more than 7 countries in 40 days. When them money they travel, they're not for nothing. Now money, what them money are, I don't count problem now. The audit service will investigate now how much the president spent. Now they don't get a chance. So what did the president they do now? The SLPP government, then they try for discredit the lady. So if you discredit the messenger, you're not going to, the message don't value again. So it's so dangerous for the country. And the reason why some of us still champion this particular audit, because this is now one of the last institutions that what people respect. If we just, let them try, you don't care, let them just start their business. No, this is not your own business. If we not continue for put pressure, even by embarrassing we leaders then that you guys are disgracing not only yourselves, but the country as a whole. I mean, why would we even get democracy if we don't get institutions there? Because when you talk about democracy, you are talking about institutions there. And those institutions are then responsible for promote good governance of the country. But if those institutions are not independent, they are politically controlled. Those institutions can be manipulated. Those institutions can be intimidated. Then I'm afraid we are not practicing democracy. And a threat for we. We know what to make for we effects. 10 years to 11 years, we will more than 100,000 people have died because of injustice, because of corruption, because of government interference into everything, because of police brutality. We see step by step, we gain the international community spend billions and billions of dollars in salon for rebrand the country, for support to institutions and for make their work. But now we see, we as Sierra Leone there, the people that will be voting, now then they take very sharp objects, they tear apart to institutions here. Now, Lord, take some few texts here. Lamzodi, they say this is a lesson. I believe that never again we give power to someone who have not worked for 22 years to be elected as president. Another one they come on from Yusuf Fofana, we say this is the result when you put criminals in governance. Guys, keep bringing your text in. We love your text and let it just be respectful. So yes, look, family. Now we continue with the claims of African Express. Now, according to other documents, when the president in office submits, the president, they withdrew $125,000 from the local overseas travel, the one at August 22, for medical expenses, when at 2021. And again, the president in travel one in everything now, it totaled to 10 billion, when at $1 million for the Lebanon trip alone. Now, bank record and day where the African Express pool. Now, all of this don't cause very serious trouble for the president. They don't know who's them for start. They don't know what thing for do. They just decide to say nothing. Look, whatever get for happen before ever this lady release this report, Lord, we do something about that. Yeah, this one they come from Abdul Jalal. We say almost all African politicians are selfish and unscrupulous. Embezzlement and mismanagement is their blood. Is in their blood. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you, because at the end of the day, when they see the same pattern, they come out. The same pattern they spread across Africa. If you want to begin to talk about each and every African country, we almost see the same thing. Very, very, very similar. Now, let me take this one from Mohamed Kamara. If you are honest to yourself, did Audit Service ever audit the former president of Sierra Leone? The answer is no. So why now Audit Service trying to audit the president's office? No. Well, you see, Mohamed Kamara, if you know your name, because anybody can just create a Facebook page and put name. It's not about being honest. It's about fact. Yeah. The Audit Service, during the former president, during the former government, they were doing the same job. In fact, the then opposition, when at Slpp, they were using the Audit Service report for campaign. In fact, they use them seriously, because those 10 billions of loans be the loss. Now, a general, if you be the watch, you find out like a general governance auditing they do. We total to them billions of loans will do. Why make for if you say SLP be happy with their reporting they come out? Because I be they use for justify, for say, look, APC not good for this country. Look, the Audit Service don't release 102 billion was missing. So Mohamed Kamara, please do your research, watch and lean, watch and try to understand whose side this office of the Audit Service. Not they go investigate the president. No, in fact, they are going just to know how the president spent state resources. That's it. Receipts. Not to say the Audit Service get power for prosecute the president. not to say the audit service get power for recommend, say the president, then for set tribunal for, or the president's corrupt. No, these are just basic necessary sort of governance best practice wherein when a government official, whether it be president, minister, vice president, you must account to the people. You must account to the people, because without accountability, then we have no governance. And mind you, you are dealing with the people's power. You are dealing with what? The nation's resources. Salon people or any country, just like any other person, even if you boss give work, you need for report to how you use those states funds or the funds will then give. So the work of the Auditor General, now, in fact, it was established by an act of parliament who give the power for check any MDA, government ministries, or even the presidential office for let them know, just for collect. That doesn't mean that they are guilty or not. But what they were looking for is just a receipt to show to salon people for say, now this, that, this they spend. The president get right for travel. The president will not say the president no get right for travel. He get right for travel. He get right for use salon money, but if for use it in the right way and if for account for it. Why? Because not to your money, not to your money, not to your money. And over the years, this not to say na SLPP, not to say this lady na SLPP or APC. The lady don't put himself in the echelon of respect among Sierra Leonean international community, because year in, year out, a report he unbiased for say Bamba they take side, or because APC within our power, you know, they report. In fact, now during APC time, he pulled very harsh and damning reports them, the Ebola funds. When this particular government can, they want to investigate about the COVID funds, where the world send millions of dollars a saloon. The Attorney General stopped that. They say no for audits because we're on a state of emergency. And according to what you understand, part of that's also the part of the audit service reports, where a leak one already done there. But again, I mean, I don't know how I don't know how this country they go out. I mean, whoever is advising the president, or maybe somebody is advising the president, or maybe the president is not making, or is not or taking advice. I mean, it's very dangerous. If somebody that advises the president for the take their stance here, floods, or even not listen to salon people, it's very dangerous. Or if the president by the thing say power now forever, it's just a matter of 1 year and some months. Salon people and go decide whether you will get second term or not. And mind you, there is life after power. Yourself, they said, I mean, look at we almost billions of loans we spent for a conduct commission of inquiry. We will not see nothing, we will not see tail, we will not see nothing. Another money, taxpayers' money, is going to be spent on this particular commission, okay, tribunal, for charge somebody where salon people and believe say he has been doing a job without fear or favor. You see what they talk? And this government inherits according to a battered economy. You see the paradox, you see the irony here, what they talk about. Say, Salo, we don't get good leaders yet. See? It's dangerous. So, this program, we go tapaya, we go follow up the tribunal. We don't see the investigation because accusation don't come out say most of the people where the president appoints young people, young tribesmen or very strong sympathizers, SLPP sympathizer. But me no one prejudice. I don't want to show them people because they're learned people. Me feel say let they allow them, okay, since because this was people look at them, it's difficult for give credibility to this particular tribunal because the action of the president, according to learned people, is unconstitutional. There was no clear evidence, absolutely reasons where the president for quickly dismiss or suspend the Auditor General, if not so because of the damning reports were about they are about for release. A lot of people before now, I feel that the president invite this. People are not they talk about the pine travel and travel, go in, go out, go clear the image. Whose name? Whose image, for God's sake? Okay, the first year people and they understand. As a president, you for travel and meet other dignitaries. But what about the second year, the third year? If you don't pass mark, and the president they just travel, so they travel to private jets. Private jets. For rent private jets is very expensive. It's very expensive now, billions of leons, because if you pay 100 million, 120,000, 120,000, 125,000 according to African Express, where they use for charge a plane, it's more than 1 billion leons. It's more than 1 billion for just fly with the president no more. And this president, according to them, they inherit a battered economy. If you get salon people at arts, if you get Soriat for the people, that 1 billion, that 1 billion, $100,000, $125,000, believe me, it gets side way they make changes in salon. With all the fly, we don't see anything tangible where the power would justify. All right, it's fine. Let's say the president travel. When travel, he can't report. When they enforce come, they make them very transparent. Whenever the president travel, they tell the entourage how much people and they go, how much they spend, what they do, when they return back, then they explain everything. That was beautiful. That was transparent. That was good. But after that, they just cease. The president just disappear. After 1 month and 2-3 days, we don't see press release. The president go on medical talk. Maybe on Facebook, we don't see the first lady, they say that they're on honeymoon. We don't see the president say they travel go UK for summit, for virtual hybrid virtual program on education the last time. From there, we don't see an Turkey. From Turkey, he can. From after that, we just see an expo na Dubai. I mean, so all of these don't create problem. And you know what? Just the try for full people. And now, just a matter of time, even when the president feels in a right for misuse the constitution or for misuse or abusing power, there will become a time when he says, "Will not say yes, power not to forever, 100 years not to forever, 5 years not to forever." And unless we begin make governance become more difficult for we Sierra Leoneans, we feel say, unless they go into politics before then become rich, then we Salon people will not ever get peace. We have to make governance difficult in the sense they have to do the right thing. They have to do the right thing, rather. They have to do the right thing. If you're not able to serve the people, not go there, not go thief, turn business, go do other thing. But mostly Adionans, when they go into politics, probably more than 99%, they are going there simply for themselves, for going rich. Tell me, how is it possible somebody they come in governance, they win party, the party win election in 1, 2, 3 years. In 1 year, someone will begin the mighty wash, mansions. How is it possible? Look at the salary they pay them. If not to Salon people money, some people they want to keep quiet. When you want to talk, they intimidate you. They say, you know, not other party day. Wait on not other party day. We don't care. Some of us, we don't care. We're not sponsored by no political party. We are Sierra Leonean. We are working for the interests of the country. Our job, our role is to contribute to the socio-economic development of Sierra Leone. We want to see better, good governance in the country. We want to see our people live a better life as human beings with respect, dignity. We want to see transparency. We want our institutions to work. We want to see that democracy prevail in the country. We want accountability to take place. The rule of law, justice, unity, respect, job them for the country. We for use to state resources judiciously. The president is not above the law. The president is not God. Now we vote in. We cannot sit by just because he's the president. Be quiet. He misuse in powers because some people in the freight say, "Oh, I'm gonna go hold me." Then we some of us don't care. We don't say many times about attack me, but that's what we love doing. And we will continue to do that because we know that now the right thing to do. So, family, will they stop here? Will they follow this tribunal where the president don't set? One last thing where we before we go, where this video don't make run at social media where workers from Seattle, they accuse the president in border for not paying. You know, say the president in border and the other institution. Now take a look at this one quick.
We're not listening to nobody. We're not listening to nobody. We're not listening to nobody. Forget about that.
We're not listening to nobody.
Okay, family, this na salon. People and they will work. They go without salary. Don't we have a government that is spending like drunken sailors with no, they don't even money to look like Steve Bio 9, according to which we understand they had the Seattle. Some workers and they are, let's say, they don't go more than 3 months and not pay them. Money not for pay them. So we try to talk about these are the reasons we make the work of the audit service very important. Why? Because we don't get money. We not get money. We not get money. We not get money. Salon, we not get money. That I made the small money we'll get. We have to use the money judiciously. We have to spend the money and gain value for the money. Not for just say, okay, salon in image done bad, so the president for spend as you wish for go clear them from whom? To whom? To whom, for God's sake? How that clearance they go benefit we, for God's sake? So if we know them bad, okay, as they are alleged, salon man not for trouble, or no for I mean, it don't just make any sense. Now people that don't work, they don't get salary because money not there. Some people and they will put their money in a bank, then go take the bank and money not there. If you put 10 million in a bank, if you ain't go take, then they give you maybe 1 million. They say money not there, for God's sake. And when we not say when government not get money, now the banks and the turn for go take money. Overdrafts. Government now one of the biggest lender. Now then commercial bank, they can just send overdraft. So the overdraft, the government in certain account money it tied up. So then get the power, or at least because of the leverage in the country, they can take money no more. They can just send, I mean, anybody for go take any money, then document her. Now that's to the government, then they pay later on. But now burden for we in future. So Fambule will stop here. Would they follow here? Okay, would they follow this particular the particular tribunal where President Biodon set up for investigate Mrs. Lara Taylor and deputy with Momo. So until we meet again, my name is Mohamed Kabo. I wish you a very pleasant night.